Welcome to Podcast, the Business of Dentistry podcast, brought to you by Practice Plan. Podcast delivers the best business advice, real-life stories, and practical hints and tips to make your practice a more profitable and sustainable business. And now, here's your host.
Hello, welcome to Podcast. My name's Hazel Dockery, and here for our third instalment on social media in dental practices. I've got with me today Gemma Starkey, also known as Miss Social. Hi, Jenna. Thanks for joining us again.
Yeah, hi Hazel. Thanks for having me back on our last instalment of social media.
Hopefully people through the series will have some great ideas as to how they can actually implement what's been going on. So for anyone who's missed the previous two episodes, just give us a quick outline as to who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so my name's Gemma, and I started as a dental nurse nearly 20 years ago. And my skills quickly developed that I was very much more suited to the marketing and business side of dentistry. And it was at a time when Facebook had just started. So I started helping the dental practice with all things marketing. And as social media was fresh, I sort of got into a bit of the niche of that and enjoyed that. And since then, I've been helping all sorts of dentists through recommendations to get social.
Great. And you're known as Miss Social as well, aren't you? That's definitely, I have to say, you must have been about 5 when you started in dentistry to look at you, if it was 20 years ago. But anyway.
That's the benefit of dentists doing facial aesthetics now. It's the Botox.
Perfect ad there. So the way we've sort of structured things in the past is that you've gone through the who, what, why, and then gone into how we can apply these things. So let's go straight into the what, why, and how. Sorry, not who, what, why.
Yeah, so why dentists should be on social media. So today we're focusing on TikTok. And so TikTok is a really busy platform. It's got 1 billion users. And I'm sure anyone that's a user on TikTok has seen its power for purchasing things. Definitely anyone who has any children under the age of sort of 25, I'm sure their child has said, I've bought this on the TikTok shop.
Yeah.
So it's interesting the angle that TikTok is taking as well, kind of becoming a selling platform. And so, of course, one of the biggest whys is we live in a modern age and our patients are hanging out on social media.
Yeah.
So, in 20, 30 years ago, they would have been reading magazines, listening to the radio, though I'm still a big radio fan. But, we would have been doing more traditional marketing methods. But now, of course, everyone hangs out online. So it's important for you to have some form of presence on there to be able to interact with patients. And of course, we all love to research online now, and dentistry is no different. So when patients are looking to choose a dental practice or a treatment, are you there? Are you searchable? Because they want to check you out and they want to see on social media as well, because they trust the information that they see, which is the information that you provide. So what information are you providing on these platforms? So that's the big why you should be on social media and highlighting why you should be on TikTok.
Yeah.
And the what should you be posting? Because everyone can understand the why, but when it comes to the what should we post? And of course, you're a busy dental practice too. You haven't got time to be creating content every single day. And so a key thing I think that helps general practices that are wanting to do some TikTok content is to actually repurpose the content that they're probably using on Instagram and transfer that across to TikTok. So making sure that you do things like patient testimonials, before and afters, behind the scenes, and remember that people are going on here for information or to be entertained. So try not to be too boring. Think of an interesting personal way you can say that. So for example, let's say we want to be recommending a toothpaste. Rather than just an image of a toothpaste or a stock image, you can just have a really simple image of the dentist or one of the dental team that's confident on camera to actually be talking about toothpaste. Keep it short, keep it simple, keep it engaging. And so that's just a sort of twist on the content that you are creating. So and of course we've got things like trends. Now you want a nice combination of everything. So you want some educational posts, like I've just said about the toothpaste, you want some patient testimonials, you want those before and afters, and then you can throw in there some of the trending posts that are going on at the moment. So, you know, of course we are December currently, not sure when the listeners will hear this, but you know, December time, we're of course thinking about Christmas. So think about
Yeah.
Christmas related content, humorous content, maybe the elf on the shelf, God help him, is doing some antics around the practice. That could be a nice personal, like bespoke to the practice. And of course, we've got January around the corner. So thinking about the new year, smile makeovers, people getting their dental health sorted. So promotion of the practice plan and membership schemes is a great time for that. So
Yeah.
just thinking about those different aspects, which brings me on nicely actually to the third, the how do you go about doing this?
Yeah.
So I've just said about what's happening this month and next month. Now, one of the key, especially as we go into the new year, is looking at what's happening for the year. So creating a really simple calendar, and this calendar can be reviewed every year, things added, things taken away.
Mm.
And this is a calendar of events that are happening through the year. Um, when you think about it, we've got sort of Valentine's Day, we've got Pancake Day. Now, these events might not seem particularly relevant, but when you know that on Pancake Day, everybody is posting a pancakes pictures on social media,
Yeah.
that actually, if you are having pancakes within the dental practice, then that's a good way for you to join in and will be relatable and you'll get good engagement. So you can see the sort of link there. But you can also then be added in practice events. Have you been 10 years that you've been dental phobia certified? You know, you can publicize that. Any dental courses that you are going on, any workshops that you're going on. And then when you know these events are happening in advance, you can plan for them. And in addition to that, just thinking of your calendar and what's happening each month. So springtime's a great time for tooth whitening, again, for smile makeovers, you know, a refreshing season. So you know that maybe during the month of March that you want to concentrate on these things. So you will align the content that you create.
Mm.
And in order to do that, you just need a bit of a plan of, okay, everybody sends me their before and after photos. Okay, we need to ask these patients for testimonials. And maybe we do an hour's content filming session every month, you know, maybe alongside the practice meeting,
Yeah.
to create that content in advance rather than having to create it all on the day or last minute, which can make it very stressful.
And possibly compromise the quality of it as well, really, if it's all
Yeah,
rushed.
yeah, absolutely. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes if things are rushed, it doesn't look as good, and especially if it needs a little bit of editing.
Yeah.
Um, so that why, what, and how, that applies to all the different social media types. And I know that,
Mm.
of course, today we're talking about TikTok, but it's the same basic three principles there.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, the important thing, I suppose, about TikTok is that it's short form videos, isn't it? I mean, you can't, like on Facebook, you can get away with a long, well, you could put a long just text post, couldn't you, if you wanted to? But it's no text on TikTok, is it at all?
No, but it is interesting because the way that they would share a text post on TikTok, which is such a great question, Hazel, is rather than share it traditionally how we would, they would share it on an image.
Right.
So you would put the text on an image, you'd put some music on there, and you might even do a bit of a scroll like the Instagram carousel where you guide people through a journey.
Yeah.
Now, one of the good things about TikTok is it will guide you as a business. If you make sure that you're registered and you have that business profile,
Mm.
TikTok will say an image post would work well for you. You know, a text post would work well for you. And it has, because TikTok really wants to get you hooked onto TikTok, and it wants to get you eventually spending some money on ads and whatnot,
Yeah.
that it really is going through a phase over the past 12 months. I've noticed it a lot, where it really is helping the business profiles and guiding them through. But short form video is the sort of the main bulk of what's happening on TikTok.
Yeah. And I mean, you mentioned trends, and they do sort of appear, but as we've said before, they're great sort of as part of the mix, aren't they? But you shouldn't necessarily be chasing them all the time. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Unless you are, a practice that has a big marketing budget, and maybe you've got an in-house social media marketing team,
Mm.
and and the goals are very high, then you can do that. But I think in general for practice, yeah, throw them into the mix. They can be quite fun to do and keep things fresh, but it shouldn't be the bulk of what it is that you're doing. And of course, with TikTok, one of the other top tips that I always give to practices, particularly practices, if you have a mobile phone and a treatment coordinator that you're using, and maybe you're using WhatsApp to contact patients, and
Mm.
that phone has all the patients' contact numbers in, is that you can sync your contacts on that phone to your TikTok profile.
Oh, wow.
So it will assess and sort of cross-reference any followers that you could be interested in. So to do that, it's really simple. On your TikTok profile page, it's a test in my memory now. Go to settings, then go to privacy, and then you go to sync contacts. And
Uh-huh.
it's right there, and it can do that for you. Not only that, but it can also then sync it across to Facebook followers. So the people that are on Facebook and TikTok, they can sync that too. The wonders of modern technology. Hey, hey, hey.
Oh, wow, that's just blown my mind. That's so
Yeah, so,
good.
I mean, when you think about it, it makes great sense that even if you're not super active on TikTok,
Yeah.
let's say you're only posting 4 times a month or even twice a month, it's
Mm.
still really great to have that TikTok account
Mm.
for these factors of patients being able to keep in touch. And of course, let's say that the phone that's in practice is being used for new patient enquiries,
Yeah.
and then they see you on TikTok, back, I want to say in the olden days, but it's not the olden days, it's like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And when I was learning the different marketing principles, they used to say that you needed 7 different touch points of patients seeing you here, seeing you there, but
Mm.
now I think that number, I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it's massive. It's like 20 something
Oh, wow.
different before it registers. So the more of those touch points you can get, the better. And of course, all dental practices need to make the most of their marketing budget. So kind of having these tweaks to enhance that is
Mm.
beneficial.
Mm. So, I mean, if you're looking at a hierarchy of social media,
Hmm.
you'd have what? Facebook at the top, then Instagram, then TikTok, or would you put Instagram before Facebook?
Oh, that's a tricky question, isn't it?
You got to sing for your supper.
It'd definitely be Facebook or Instagram the top. I mean, I've been doing reports this morning, and and looking at the reports, Instagram has outperformed most of Facebook on the accounts that I help to manage by 3 times.
Wow.
So we're having massive views compared to Facebook, but remember that Facebook is the one, Meta is the one that owns Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp,
Yeah.
um, and it is still sort of. I'd I'd always want people to be on Facebook because it's kind of like the godfather to them all.
Yeah.
But I would say Facebook, Instagram, and then TikTok.
Right. Okay then. And then it's actually essential these days, isn't it? If you are a dental practice, you might not like social media, but it's here to stay, isn't it?
Yeah, it absolutely is. And I mean, again, when I started, I remember dentists discussing if a website was necessary. And I feel, we can laugh about it now, but they were deadly serious at the time. And I think that it's the same now. It's the digital way of us all keeping in touch. It's becoming much more common as well in terms of communication, how patients are reaching out to us for information as well. So you sort of need to have that presence there and build up, else you're going to find yourself with a big hole and then have to kind of work very hard to fill that, to bring yourself up to date. So step in, do what you can, ask for help when you need it.
Yeah, that's great. And there's just one thing that I want. I'm old and suspicious. So I have seen things on Instagram that I've thought, oh, that looks great, for sale. But I
Yes.
never buy anything. I always go and check it online afterwards, just and look at reviews and things like that. So I suppose what I'm trying to get at is that all this stuff on Instagram is great, but you still need to be getting your good Google and Trustpilot reviews, don't you?
Yes, you do, but it's interesting the way that you've approached it, Hazel, because with the younger generations, they're approaching it almost, they are searching more on social media for products and whatnot. But I think people in sort of my sort of age bracket, actually, they search for things on Google and then they go onto social media to check, because we want real people and we can see whether we think they're real accounts, fake accounts. We can see if our friends follow these people. We can see that, we're quite savvy, even if people are hiding negative comments, that I can see, well, they've had 20 comments, but I can only read 2. Or I've seen lots of fake adverts for things lately, sob stories of, sadly, I'm closing my business down. And
Yeah.
but then I can see on the reactions, lots of people have put angry faces, even though you can't see that in the comment, and it highlights to me that it's a fake, it's a scam. So so we kind of, you're getting from social media and double checking on Google. It can work the other way too, but it is definitely, I think, in reference to all of this, it's good to check both ways, either side. Check on Google, check on social.
Yeah. So no, I suppose the point I was trying to make is don't stop trying to get good Google reviews. Don't rely just on positive comments on social media.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Google is still the dominant one. Google's non-negotiable.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay then. Well, that's great. So basically you're saying get in there, have a go, don't worry about making mistakes, and learn, but just as long as you learn from them.
Yeah, set up some simple structures, that annual content calendar, a little side session every month to record some of that information. And don't be afraid to reach out to people, for advice to get
That's
it set up.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's been great talking to you about social media, and I hope people have got a lot out of it, Gemma.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, bye.